Lock in all sports, all plays, all 5% best bets for the next 30 days from your favorite WagerTalk handicapper for only $1.99 versus the regular price of $3.49 for a total savings of $1.50. Prices are already discounted across the board and no coupon is required. Just head over to WagerTalk.com, pick your favorite handicapper in the experts menu, and lock them in for 30 days across all sports for only $1.99.
Welcome back here, guys, to WagerTalk TV. It is puck time. It is time to talk some NHL betting. If you joined us on yesterday's show, guys, you had a 3-0 sweep with our power plays and our best bets. We will look to do the exact same thing here today. We'll dive into some great games here today. The majority of these games from a totals, sides, maybe even a prop perspective here. Before we get into these games, I'll bring in my co-host, Carmine Bianco. What's up, Carm?
Not much. How's it going? The Toronto Maple Leafs were the only team that squashed me last night as far as plays go. If they had they won that game, it would have been a fantastic day. Otherwise, it was 2-1 day in NHL on the side selections. So it went good, and another busy card today as far as I haven't put it up yet, but they will be up soon.
Good stuff, Carm. I'm happy to say I had a 4-2 night in hockey, but could have been really, really good night if I had the Minnesota Wild come through with a winner for me, but I had the over in that game as well. That was kind of a toughie. Don Buster, what's up, Buster? Your usual Tuesday spot. How are things?
Things are good, Andrew. Had a 4-2 night last night. Another college basketball 5% winner, so that's always nice. And looking forward to the show as always. Looking forward to a bunch of comments from Carmine as always, and let's get going, guys.
I think last week most of the comments were not even related to games in our YouTube section. They were related to just our show, the back and forth and the comedy. But Buster, you're becoming a fan favorite, man. They want you on more. They love having these Tuesday games. So without further ado, I guess we'll announce the games we're talking about today. It's going to be Dallas taking on Nashville, Carolina and Chicago, Columbus, Tampa Bay, Oilers in Montreal, and the Capitals at the Rangers. And guys, without further ado, let's dive right into the first one. It's going to be the Stars and the Predators, the Battle of Texas. And Carm, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I don't get this game first and foremost, and looking at the odds on this game and a lot of the plays that get the games that we're going to discuss today. Most of them, if not all of them, I lean on totals more so than the sides. So that's going to be my angle on this one. But Nashville has suddenly found some defense. You know what I mean? The winners of 5 straight, 7 of 8 overall. And in those games, in that 8-game stretch where they've won 7 of them, their only loss was a 2-0 loss. 6 of the 8 games have gone under the total. And then you look at the Stars, and I'll be honest with you, this team is a train wreck. I don't get it. They're 3-7 their last 10. They're 6-14, and they're quickly falling off the pace, Andrew, of even making a run for the playoffs in this division. You look at the other teams in this division, and I'm just going to bring it up here real quickly. You have Nashville winning games. You have Chicago, who is putting a bit of a damper on my look-ahead thing with a couple losses, but still, they're right there tied for 4th. And you have Columbus, who they're going to pick up their wins along the way. This Dallas team is falling off. They're only 6 points off now and do have some games in hand. But this is only a 56-game season, and you're quickly going to run out of games unless you start winning games. And I look at this line, and Dallas is favored at -115. I do not get this line. I'm going to stay away from the sides in this game, look for a tight defensive game, and lean under 5.5.
Carm goes under the total in this one. And yeah, Carm, I think it's important for us to just start to realize where the Stars team stands in this division. They hold an 11-12-9 record. Nashville 18-7-1. It pains me to say this, Buster, but it seems like right now the Stars are kind of being the Montreal Canadiens of their division with all these overtime losses. I mean, I hate to say it, but they're getting a lot of the quote-for-quote pity points by losing these games in overtime. But I want to take a look at it like this. And if you look at this game, you look at the recent teams that Dallas has played, they've played some real tough competition in this division. You look at who Nashville's played recently, a little bit easier of competition. So do you want to go on the angle with ride the hot hand or ride the team looking at, coming back, bouncing back after playing both Florida and Tampa Bay and maybe getting back in the win column? Because for my lean actually is with the Dallas Stars here.
Well, Andrew, I'm going to be against you on that, and I'll give you a few reasons why. Dallas used to have even though they were playing pretty well this year. So actually after their COVID shutdown and all that for a while, they weren't playing all that good, but they were at least on the power play. They were 7th on the power play and 14th on the penalty kill. Now their power play is 11th and they're 20th on the penalty kill. They're catching, if you ask me, they're catching Nashville at a real bad time. Nashville's playing some excellent hockey. As Carmine said, they've won 7 out of their last 8 games. And now they're home in Nashville. And Carmine mentioned this. I don't understand this line either. Shouldn't Nashville be favored? They're at home. They play great at this Bridgestone Arena. So I'm not too sure about this line here. Dallas just doesn't look themselves since that COVID break. I know they've been playing better teams. I know, but they keep losing. They've lost 6 out of 8. So to me, you can't bet Dallas here. To me, like Andrew, again, a big deal, but that's just the way you look. You can't bet that. I kind of like the under a bit, but then these last couple of games, Nashville's won both in the 4-3 in a shootout. The other game was 7-0. So they played 3 overs and 1 under. So not really wanting to.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is here in this game, Carm, I really just don't want to pick a side because I don't like the odds for either team. If I'm going to bet either of these teams right now, I probably want to look at them as an underdog. But let's move on to our next game here, and it's going to be our marquee matchup, Carm. And it's our marquee matchup for a pretty good reason. It's the Carolina Hurricanes and Chicago Blackhawks going head-to-head. Hurricanes 23-7-3, Blackhawks 16-15-5. Look, this Blackhawks team, we've discussed them ad nauseum on this show, and we've had some different opinions on them. Carm, I've heard you kind of talk smack about them, then jump on board with this team. Now we're seeing the number climb up to minus 160. So I know you've made some money off them, but are you willing to try and make some money here off them with the plus 135 price? Or is it more so, hey, I'll take the team averaging more goals per game, a better face-off percentage per game, more dangerous scoring percentages per game? This Blackhawks team, to me, I definitely was wrong about them. But I still think this Hurricanes team is going to go deep this year, and they'll make it really known here tonight.
Yeah, I don't want to give up on the Chicago team as far as like the look-ahead spots, but this is a tough one against the Canes. I thought they would get at least a split of the 2 games against Nashville, but Nashville is playing some pretty good defensive hockey and getting some good goaltending, something that both of which, and winning on the road, that 3 factors that I didn't think they could all do at one time, and all of a sudden they're doing it. So I'm willing to give Chicago another shot here. I'm not saying they're a live dog, like I thought with the Sabres yesterday, who blew that 3-0 lead, unfortunately. But this is a game where if they're playing better defensively and they can get some breaks offensively, they could beat this Carolina team. This Carolina team is playing lights hot hockey as well too. Listen, they've only got 2 regulation losses their last 15. They've gone 11-2-2, and they're doing it with defense, which is why, with that said, you get a team like Chicago who had been playing well defensively. They just couldn't get the scoring last time out, losing 3-2 and 3-1 in those games to Nashville. Still, that they're a team that have been playing to the under. Earlier on in the season, we saw it when Chicago was playing well. They were keeping the scoring down. It was a commitment to defense, and they were getting the right puck luck or the bounces in their way. This is why I'm leaning. I saw this total at 6, and I had to take it. I had to take the under 6 here. I understand with the Carolina team that has shown that they can score in their last couple of games were 4-3 OT wins over Tampa and Columbus, but this is still a team that does get into those lower scoring games when they allow the other team to dictate it as well too. And the only way Chicago wins this game is to win a 3-2 low scoring game. It's the only way they win. They're not going to outscore the Canes tonight, so I'm going to lean to under 6 with that said.
I agree with you, Carmine. If you look at the standings, you look at some of these top-tier teams, when Chicago's played those top teams, like to your point, they have played to the under because they know that's the only way they're going to have a chance in that hockey game. And the coaching staff said that from the start of the year. You know, we have to realize that we don't have scoring depth all the way through. When we're playing these top-tier teams, we have to, clamp down, clog up our neutral zone, and play better defensively. So I'm right there with Carm on this under. But Buster, the stats don't really lie here with 7 of the last 8 games between these two teams going in Carolina's favor. But one thing that I've really been noticing a lot more these days, you guys mentioned it with the last game, Carmine and I have been talking about it every day, road versus home splits. And this Carolina team has been strong at home, but they've also been strong on the road and strong on the road against the Chicago Blackhawks. So I'm not too worried about this road spot. Are you, Buster?
I'm sorry here, guys. It looks like I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties, or you guys are having. I'm not too sure, but it seems like I'm having some trouble here. Last game, I'm going with Nashville. Okay, so everybody knows that. This game here, I'm going against Carmine. I'm taking the over. I actually last night bet it over 5.5 over 120. Over 20 last night, and I see there's still some of that out there. There's a lot of 6 under 225 in that, and just what you said, Andrew. The reason why is because they've played 3 overs. Chicago, to me, they have to open it up a bit. If they don't, they are, again, Carolina is going to score some goals. We have both the teams here. We have the 2 best, not the 2 best. Sorry, Carolina is number 1. Chicago's number 3 in power play. And Chicago's got that really bad penalty kill unit. And that's going to put in some goals. The 2 goaltenders tonight, I'll give this guy's name a shot. That Nedeljkovic, he's playing fantastic for Carolina. Lankinen, well, he cost me a 5%er last week when he saved 41 saves. I just like these 2 teams' power plays. I like how all these games they've played wide open. And like I say, last night I got 5.5 over 20. I see some 5.5s over 25. Shop around, like we always say, shop around. Very important to do that. And I'm going to be on the over here.
Well, you can't go wrong with the power plays and the PK percentages as well, Buster, and 3.4 goals per game for Carolina. Definitely does not hurt anybody. I'm going to throw it back to you, Buster, with our next game here, our line change game of the day, Columbus at Tampa.
Okay, here I am again. It looks like there's a little bit of technical difficulties. So for all the guys in the chat, sorry if it's me, if it's them. It seems to be not that good today. So I will try to keep these things short then. As far as Columbus, not too sure what's going on here. They looked terrible in Detroit on the week of the last 2 games. They had 22 shots on goal, 17. They've lost they're 3-8 in their last 11. I don't want to say this, but I'm going to. I wonder if they've gave up on Torts a bit. I don't, they just don't look like a team that wants to play. That was just a brutal display these last few games. And now you got Tampa Bay, who's they've lost their last couple of games. So they're looking that they're going to play this game. Cooper's a little bit pissed off. They've lost 2 in a row. And they have that history against Columbus. Can't lay 255. Can't even lay -1.5. Can't even lay none of that stuff. But Vasilevsky's in net tonight. I think Tampa just shuts them down, maybe wins 3-0, 4-1. And we will go with the under 5.5 here.
Under 5.5 there from Buster and Carm. To his point, this Columbus team is in shambles. Like, it is just not even close. Any casual fan would know that these moments right now for this Columbus team, they're not pretty, man. And he talks about giving up on Tortorella. I think it'd be a hard coach to give up on, but they might need more of a player's coach in Columbus. They might not need a hard-ass coach because clearly that's not working. Pierre-Luc Dubois, though, he's doing well in Winnipeg. Patrick Laine, 1 goal in 15 games for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Probably can't score, though, if he doesn't get out there on the ice, and Tortorella seems to want to keep juggling his ice time around up and down here, Carm. So that's kind of a problem as well. The depth of scoring is just completely lacking. We're pretty much seeing 3 or 4 guys score for this Columbus Blue Jackets team, and that's pretty much it. As we called this our line change game for a reason, Carm, money is coming in on the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it's coming in pretty fast here. Can you go anywhere else here besides on the Tampa Bay Lightning?
No, I can go total, but you've got to figure they're going to be a little crusty coming into this game with those 2 losses on the road to who are their losses to? They're 2 losses on the road to Dallas and Carolina both by 4-3. Those aren't the games that they normally lose, those 4-3 type games, because they don't normally allow 4 goals, this Tampa team. They're a pretty good defensive team, and it's one of the reasons why I'm leaning to the under. They're 13-2 at home, 62-30 goal differential. They're literally outscoring their opponents by a 2-1 margin there. Super tough team to beat in Tampa. And then you look at this Columbus team, who Torts looks like he's literally 1 or 2 losses, and probably 1 or 2 bad losses from absolutely imploding on this team. Whether they like him or not in the dressing room, he's a guy that usually inspires his team with that underdog role. On the road, 9 of their last 10 games have gone under the total. When we talk about how you win a game, you're not going to beat Tampa Bay by outscoring them in a high-scoring game. You're only going to beat them by getting it to one of those 3-2 type games, the same type of games that they knocked them off in the playoffs and then gave them fits last year in the playoffs. Those are the games, those 3-1 games, those 3-2 games. And this is where I'm leaning to as far as this game goes. The total's 5.5. This could easily be 3-2, or it could be a 4-1 Tampa win, and everything gets you the money if you're taking under 5.5. That's how I'm going here. I just cannot see anything other than a low-scoring, tight game here. The only way Columbus is going to try and scratch out some those pity points is by getting it to OT.
Carm, you're Mr. Under today, man. The unders are working too. They're cashing tickets in the NHL right now. So if you're betting unders, you're having some pretty good success. It's time for the Dumper Chase segment here. The Montreal Canadiens. I love seeing that logo on the screen. Happy to have them back playing some hockey after it's been several days, Buster, without our team playing a hockey game. We also had pickup for a 3rd-round pick. We had Eric Staal join the Montreal Canadiens. Huge pickup for us, especially at the center position. However, we will not really discuss him today, Buster, because he's not really playing tonight. But look forward to breaking down what you expect out of him on next week's show. But as far as today, guys, quick couple stats here. The Oilers, 12-2 the last 14 games on 0 days rest. This team has actually succeeded when they have had very little rest. They've been on these road trips. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's been the defense. I'm not sure if it's been the lack of rust. I'm not really sure what it is, guys, but the stats show this team has been fine on road trips. This team has been fine on the tail end of road trips. But I'm actually looking here, guys. It would have to be, honestly, I'd have to put a slight lean here to the Oilers. Non-bias. Everybody knows I'm a Montreal fan. I know this is our Dumper Chase segment here, but I am going ahead here and going over the total in this one. Montreal has gone over big time against teams with a winning record. Teams with a losing record in this division, such as Ottawa, they're flying under like crazy. Against teams with a big winning record, they are going over the total. They are trading goal after goal after goal. They can't seem to find a way to beat these teams 3-1, 3-2, so on and so forth. So the stats back it up here, guys. 20-8, the last 28 games against a team with a winning record have gone over. So I'll go over here, guys, but it's dump for me. I can't lay minus 125 here with my guys here after that much layoff. What about you, Buster? What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, you know what, Andrew? I definitely can't lay that at all. I'm shocked Montreal is that big of a favorite. They're coming off a COVID break, and we've seen how these teams perform off COVID breaks. I was talking about it in that Dallas before my mic got screwed up there earlier, so apologies again. But even Boston haven't played that well. I've looked forward to them playing a little bit better today, too. A lot of teams off these COVID breaks haven't played well. Montreal's going to be missing a few guys again. And you made a couple of good stats there, Andrew. I saw those stats. Edmonton 12-2 on back-to-backs. They're 8-1 in 3 out of 4 games when they play their fourth game of 3 out of 4 games. I mean, wow. And to me, like, again, I'm a fan with Montreal, but I'm a fan of money. And how is Montreal favored against Edmonton just because of a back-to-back? I don't get it. They're going to be slow. Edmonton has speed. I mean, Edmonton went in there and beat them 3-0 the last time too. I just think it's just a bad spot for Montreal to get their legs back. And then, there's a few lines I don't understand tonight. This is one of them. I don't always bet against my Canadiens. I very seldom bet against my Canadiens. But Edmonton's a play plus money for sure.
Buster mentioned a few scratches. Carmine, Yoel, Armia, and Tyler Toffoli will not be in the lineup for Montreal. Your thoughts here, Carmine, on this game tonight?
Yeah, I think it's ironic that our dumper chase is in a game where one of the team's logos looks like a toilet seat. So, yes, this is definitely a dump for me on the Montreal Canadiens Edmonton game. I'm going to lean to the over, and much for the same reasons and numbers that you mentioned, Andrew. There's a lot of good statistical numbers in favor of taking the over here, and it's one of the few overs that I like on the card. It's at 6 where it should be. It's third and 4 nights for the Oilers after that OT win against the Leafs last night. We'll have to see what I hate to think that a team, even any NHL team, off a 10-day layoff is rusty because they should be on that ice. It's just a matter of that first period or second period, whether they're up to game speed or not. We'll see that in that first period tonight. If the Oilers try and make this a fast-paced game, we might see some goals early in this game. So over for me, 6 here.
Happy to have you on my side there, Karn. But if the Buffalo Sabres had a logo on the screen too, we'd be flushing them down that toilet for the way they've been playing recently. Our next game here, guys, the Barn Burner segment, our total segment on the day, Capitals and the Rangers. First of all, guys, kind of interesting to see the line here in this game, but we can feel free to discuss the side as well in this game. But total is at 6 here. Rangers have played much better hockey. I mean, they were kind of embarrassing to start the year off. They weren't scoring goals. They weren't having that line cohesion. The chemistry wasn't there. Alexis Lafreniere has not looked like the player that they expected he would be. Last meeting was 5-4 here, guys. That's 9 goals. Total here is 6. I'm going the opposite direction, though, under in game 2. Carm?
Well, Andrew, we are on opposite sides of this one. Hottest team in the NHL, this Washington team. 16-3-1 their last 20, 10-5 on the road thus far this year. And as you mentioned, they did have a, I think it was 4-3 or 5-4 last time they met, but it was 4-2 the last time they met. They've only played 1 game in New York so far. Rangers are one of the few teams that have found a way of beating this Washington team. They lead the series 3-2. They're just firing on all cylinders. They're getting secondary scoring. When I see a team that is getting that type of secondary scoring, I'm always going to go with the overs in their games. If I see 5.5s, if I see 6 with not a lot of juice, until someone finds a way of completely slowing down this Washington team and that scoring that they're getting from their 3 lines, it's going to be an over for me.
I just look at it like this. I mean, you take away a couple games for this New York Rangers team. When they play teams with a winning record, same thing I said with Chicago, they're going to want to clamp down defensively, Buster. That's kind of my mindset here. They're going to want to play more defensive and shut things down. When they play teams with a losing record like them, they usually go over. What do you think here? Over or under, Buster?
Well, it looks like I'm going to have to break the tie between the 3 of us. So I'm with you, Andrew, believe it or not. I know I'm against you. It seems almost every week I'm against you, but I'm with you here. I'm on the under myself, especially with that 6 total. Both these teams can kill penalties. Washington's penalty kill is the 10th, Rangers 5th. It is a back-to-back, but it's not because they're changing venues, obviously. The games that they played, this will be the 6th game between them. The only game that went over was the last game. And I tell you, And the reason why I like this under, is because the way that last game went over, that was crazy. It was 3-0 going to that. They just started, it was like boom, 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 boom. And those coaches, both of them are going to be pissed with those guys. That was brutal defensive hockey in that third period. So to me, there's going to be like a premium on, guess what? We need to play some defense tonight, guys. That was horrific of NHL hockey teams to allow that to happen. And Shesterkin's in net tonight. I think Vanasek's in net for Washington. And they're two pretty good goalies. Again, you got to get 7 goals to win that over. I'm with you, Andrew. And the under 6 has been in New York at MSG. It's been 6-2-1 to the under. And like I say, they're 3-1-1 this year to the under. Give me under 6.
Happy to have you on my side, Buster, that's for sure. Carm's been pretty hot, though, as well, so hate to go against him, though, at the exact same time. It is $2 Tuesday, guys, at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo. I'll let Carm rebuttal after a few minutes, but make sure you guys grab the hottest handicapper at both websites. Their best play, their top play of the day for just $2. Also, our buddy Lawrence Pressman has a 5% play in the NHL tonight. His 5% plays across all sports have been outstanding, but especially his 5% plays in the NHL, guys. Head over to wt.buzz/PZ and grab his 5% play, or PZ for you Canadians out there, to keep it Canadian. But it is $2 Tuesday, so check those plays out over at Sports Memo and WagerTalk. Carm?
Yeah, no, the only other over, obviously I haven't talked about Buster's screen there. I brought the eye drops today because I figured the over-under was 6.5 times. I would have to go to my eyes after seeing him with the multitude of colors that he brings. He's a very colorful guy. He's a very colorful guy. We'd love to have him on the show. And if we can get him on come playoff time at least twice a week, the invite is there. So, Buster, if you can make it out twice a week, take a day off of sunbathing, which I'm pretty sure the people on the beach would love for you to do as well, too. Take a day off of sunbathing and come and join us here on Puck Time.
Well, Carmine, as you know, it is probably about 100 degrees right now here in Mexico. And I just want to mention, MLB starts on Thursday, and I've got my Orioles shirt going, my beach Orioles shirt. And it's always a fun time for me on opening day, because that's the only time I've been a diehard Oriole fan since, I hate to say this, 1973. So that's a long, long time. Most of the guys
1970 what?
Haven't even
1971.
73. So a lot of guys in the chat room haven't even been alive. But in saying that, it's the only day this Thursday I'll be in first place. Then after that, that'll be it.
Yeah, it'll be a great day not to have a losing record. That's for sure. And I don't even 1970 what? Holy crap here. Whoa. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
it's
1973.
5 years after
okay.
5 years after I was born, and 16 years after the Leafs won their last Stanley Cup, I believe, or no, 6 years after they won their last Stanley Cup.
No.
So 67.
I thought you were an accountant, Carmine. I thought you were.
My parents were probably only 10 years old. Let's get to best bets here before Carmine does some mental math. We'll go to Buster here to do some promos and give us his power play for the day.
Well, guys, I just go over to sportsmemo.com. I have a best bet up for college basketball in the Elite Eight tonight. Just want to wish everybody happy Easter. Here in Mexico, it's Semana Santa. It's a very, very big party week here. And just want to wish everybody safe and happy holidays. My best bet, and that's the only reason that Andrew, you're saying that guys want me to come back on the show. It's just, I think it's only because I've gave out three winners and a push in this last month on my plus money best bets. So let's see if I can do it here one more time. We're going to go with the Boston Bruins in the first period, -0.5 on the puck line, and they're getting plus 145. And my reason is easy. New Jersey beats them last game. Boston, I think, had about 40 shots on goal. And I got to believe Cassidy's saying, listen, we sat here and watched New Jersey and Buffalo get the jump on us the last 2 games. That can't happen. So Boston gets a jump on New Jersey tonight. It's New Jersey's 6th game. They probably just want to get going home. And I like that play. Let's hope I can give everybody another plus money victory.
Good stuff, Buster. And, you know, you're giving out winners, but you're also one of the most wholesome guys that comes on this show. That's saying something. We got a lot of great guys coming on this show, but to wish everybody happy holidays, to be able to squeak that in, have to respect that. Carm, what's your best bet here tonight, man?
Yep, best bet is going to go right back to that Washington and Rangers game. I talked about it. I'm going to go with the total on this game. I am leaning over. It warms the cockles of my heart to know that you guys are on the under, so I'm against both you guys on this one. I am going over Washington and the Rangers on this game. Let's look for another 3-game sweep of our best bets. 3 plays up this afternoon in World Cup qualifying after a down Saturday, a bad Saturday, 5-1-1 with World Cup selections, 5-1-1 with World Cup soccer selections, 3 of them on the card today. And you can get them for $29 over at WagerTalk. And an NHL card is up. The first play is loaded, and there's a couple more plays that will be loaded to that card. But you can pick those up at WagerTalk.com.
Carm, that's just so gracious of you. It's just so nice to hear that it warms the hair on your head to fade us. I just love to hear it. It means a lot to me that you would do that to us. But best of luck. But it's tough to hear you fading Buster and I. We've had such a good show together. But I'm going to actually be involved in that exact same game. And I'm going to go with the Washington Capitals on the money line. This is simply a price play, simply a value play. You are not going to give me these odds and close to a pick-em price here with the Washington Capitals playing the way they are, scoring the goals the way they are, beating the teams the way they are, and tell me that they can't go right back here and get the job done against New York in quality fashion. And, probably in a 4-1 game here, but we'll see if it goes over for Carmine. And for myself, I'm actually doing an all-access pass here today, guys. I have 1 Elite 8 play, a few NHL plays, and 1 NBA play that I will have up at WagerTalk.com. Reminder, guys, Prez has his 5% play up. You can also catch him on WagerTalk today directly following this show. Best bets on the screen. I'm on the Capitals. Carm with Caps, Rangers, over 6. Buster, Bruins, first period, -0.5. Plus 145 for that sweet plus money as he tries to do it again here with the great plus money prices. Always a fun show here, guys, on Tuesdays. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button on the YouTube video. Subscribe to our channel and enjoy your night. Best of luck. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Wager Talk TV.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.